Hi everyone, today I'm going to be reading George Brown Class Clown Treble Magnet Chapter 10. Let's get started. I can't believe we didn't even come up with in third, Mike complained as he packed up the drumsticks after the talent show. Are you kidding, Louis asked. After what he did, we're lucky we didn't get thrown out of the school. George looked down at the ground. He felt really bad. Louis had wanted to have a trophy. They all did. And maybe they would have gotten one, except for the stupid super burp. We never should have let you win the band, Louis told George. You messed the whole thing up. If I was Mrs. McCone, I'd take your recess for a whole year. George couldn't imagine what Louis would be like as principal of the school. It was too scary to think about. You're going to be sorry you did this to me. I mean, to us, Louis said. You're out of the band. Just then Sam and the two other middle school kids came backstage. They were heading toward the band. The last thing George wanted was some older kids making fun of him. Louis looked kind of nervous, and his brother walked closer and closer. You guys were good, Sam said. Really, Sam? You really thought? Louis said. Sam didn't answer. Instead, he was looking at George. And you. You were amazing, dude, he told George, playing keyboard with your toes. Sam's friend added, How do you do that? The dive bomb was the best part, Sam said. You guys were ripped off, the third middle schooler told them. You should have won. George just stood there surprised. He wasn't sure what to say. The dive bomb was just my idea, Louis told Sam. I would have done it myself, but I didn't want to break my guitar. George shook his head. Louis was unbelievable. At our next concert, I'm going to dive bomb, Louis told George. Their next concert? What next concert? Hadn't Louis just thrown him out of the band? Just then Alex came over. My mom said you and your parents should come for ice cream with us, he said to George. We're going to Ernie's Ice Cream Emporium. Ernie's, that was the last place George wanted to go tonight. That was where it all started. It was a scene of the first burp, and George had enough burping for one night. I better not, George told Alex. My parents will be waiting for me out in the hall. I have a feeling they're not going to want to go anywhere else. They're probably going to want to talk. Alex nodded and then shook his head. Sadly, when the parents walked in, it was never a good thing. Well, let's hang out tomorrow if you're allowed, George told him. I'm still working on Hat or Willoy. Louis shook his head. George can't skateboard tomorrow. He's got a band practice. Sorry, Louis, it's not happening. George told him, I'm hanging out with Alex tomorrow. Louis stared at George like he couldn't believe anyone would turn down a chance to hang out with him. We can rehearse on Sunday, though, George said. Louis didn't look happy, but all he said was, Okay, Sunday, cool. Suddenly, George heard a loud rumbling noise. It was coming from inside his stomach. Everybody just stopped and stared. Dude, gross, the fifth grader said. A familiar feeling came over George. Put his hand on his stomach, and then he smiled. There was no burp in there. In fact, there was nothing in there. His stomach was just empty. I'm starving. My stomach always grumbles when I'm hungry, George explained. George was happy to be burp-free, at least for now, but somehow he had a feeling that the super burp would be back. He just didn't know when or what it would make him do. The only thing he knew for sure was when that burp came back, it was going to cause trouble. And that was just plain butter. The end. So that was the end of the book. So make sure that you turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next book that we're going to be reading. I think it's going to be another George Brown Class Clown, but I don't know which one it is. So that'll probably be coming out tomorrow. Bye.